Hey, this is Joe from Home Studio Corner. One of the things that I love to do when I produce a song is to find ways to insert melodies into whatever I'm recording, whether it's a simple guitar vocal or a big, huge production with dozens of tracks. If you aren't currently thinking about that when you're producing, add this to your list of things you want to make a habit when it comes to producing music. Because if your songs are always just chord progressions, and there's never any melody other than whatever the vocal is singing, I think you might be missing out on ways to make it more interesting. So a lot of folks I will encounter, they'll come up with a chord progression and then they'll just play that progression for 4 minutes. Play the song, play the chords, and they might play the chords on guitar and electric guitar and piano and bass, and then drums play a beat, and that's their song. And there's nothing wrong with that. We could find examples where that works, but I found music that I find interesting and music that I love producing and music that I'm proud of after the fact is stuff where I've added lots of little melodies and things to hum along to. For example, my wife, not a musician, but she will pick out these little melodies of songs that we hear on the radio and she'll hum them. She'll notice them before I do. Our ears are just inclined to hear melodies, so do your listener a favor and find ways to insert melodies into what you're doing. I'm going to demonstrate that today here kind of impromptu, live on the spot, and see what happens. So I went to my Facebook page and I said, give me a chord progression. And so I've got several now. And so I got several. So I'm just going to go through these and record a quick recording of that progression and then come up with a melody to go with it. Okay? I want to just kind of walk you through how I go about doing this. It's not like I have a formula. It's not like it's any sort of super big secret. It's just something you have to practice and do. So I want to show it to you here so maybe you can feel a little more confident to practice on your own. All right, Ben Holmes had the first one. His was 1, 5, 1, 3. So let's make that 3 a minor, and let's record that. So I'm going to do it in C. We'll do it in 4/4 time signature for this one. So 1, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's say that's our song, and we're doing this kind of old school Johnny Cash thing. But rather than just having the guitar, we want to add in a few more instruments, a piano maybe, another acoustic guitar, or multiple acoustic guitars. What can we do to make this a little more, what can we do to add a melody here? Let's take a listen. So what I do is I'm a singer first, usually. So I like to just try to sing and just come up with some sort of a melody. And the idea here is it doesn't have to be the melody that the lead vocal is going to do. You can do that, and occasionally I will do that. I'll play the melody during the intro and on an instrument, and then I'll sing it later. But what I love more is to make this melody something that's not present anywhere else in the song. It's just something the instruments do. It's just that one more thing to make this fairly simple chord progression something that's more interesting. So I'll start by just humming along or maybe just noodling on the guitar. Let's see what we get. 3, 4. Da, 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 da. So it's literally, I just sang 3 notes. So it's C, so I sang C, B, B, A, G. And because it goes to the E minor, the second time those notes work. So it can be da, 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 da. See, like I'm already, like right now, I'm thinking that would be a cool song. I want to write that. And that doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't have to be what the melody does. It could play that da 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 da. I'm Johnny Cash singing my song, yeah, or whatever. And then I get done with my verse and I sing something like that. And it goes back into like a little turnaround. And there's a steel guitar that goes. I'm sitting here in Nashville. And so the vocal that time kind of played on. You get the idea. It's just a stupid, simple melody. It didn't have to be something like super like fast or complicated. You could, a 5-year-old could play that melody on the piano, and that's great. Some of the best things we can do in the studio are really simple. That simple progression with that melody, in my ears, sounds 10 times better than just that progression by itself. Now that's something. Like I might need to come back and watch this video and write that. All right, let's try it again. Jared said 1, 5, 2, 4. Let's make that 2 a major this time. We'll stick with C, but we'll go to a 6/8 time signature because that might be a little more interesting. So 1, 5, 2, 4. 1, 5, 2, 4. Okay, here we go. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't like the 2 major. Let's make it a 2 minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're in 6/8. It's a little bit different. What can we do for a melody here? 4, 5, 6. So let's start. One thing you can do is just start on the one note of the whatever key you're in. So we're in C. So I'm going to start there again. We did that on the last one when we went 4. Whatever that was, I already forgot it. And then this one, we're going to start with a C and just go somewhere else. That's a great, if you don't know what else to do, just start there and then move somewhere up or down from there. So we're going to try going up this time. Oh, it's in 6/8. Ba-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Like that's just, now granted, that's part of it's just riffing on guitar, and that's just a very simple little riff to do the thing. But that's something I've never, I've written, I don't know if I've written hundreds of songs, but I've written dozens and dozens of songs for sure, and I've never had one that does exactly that. That's a new melody. Let's do it one more. So maybe it sounds like, oh, Joe, you're just pulling that melody out of your butt, or Joe, you already prepared these melodies beforehand. No, it's just, this is what happens when you think in terms of melody a lot. You find yourself doing it all the time. So if I'm playing a song like it, man, there's so many of these comments now. When I'm playing a song in church and I've got to play lead guitar, which I don't get to do very much on electric, and they're playing a little thing, I'll come up with a little melody to play between the verses or after the chorus. And it's become such second nature to me. That's why I wanted to do this. Not to say, oh, look at Joe making his melodies, but more just, hey, think about melodies more when you're making music. Find ways to insert them. You don't have to be a virtuoso. You saw what I was playing. None of those were difficult. And even if you're just a singer, maybe you just play the chords and then you sing. I mean, there's plenty of singers who sing these little hooks, and that becomes part of the song too, right? Thinking of Feist, a lot of her songs had that. Or Adele, the ooh, ooh, 2 notes sliding up to one of them, and that's a great hook. That's not the melody of the song, but it really, as soon as I sing that, you know what song I'm talking about. Goodness gracious, y'all are giving me some really long ones. Let's go with 6, 4, 1, 5. That is the forever. Let's change keys to. You know what? Nope, we'll stay in the same key. 6, 4, 1, 5, and let's do it in 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's start on that same note again. We'll start on the C. mean, that could be the riff.
Dum, dum, dum. Dum, dum.
Maybe make it, let's try a different note. Let's try the 3 of the chord. So an E. That one moves a lot. Maybe that's too much movement. So maybe we go something simpler like. Something like that. Like that literally, maybe all of those sound cheesy to you, but literally pick up your guitar, play 6 minor 4-1-5, and see what comes out. We can do it in a different key. Let's do it in G. And let's do it in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sounds like 1,000 different songs.
Dum 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 dum.
That's like super simple, like electric guitar doing some sort of. What is that? But with a little bit of delay, that becomes like a cool little riff. If it works for you too, it can work for us. Let's do it in 6/8 and D. Let's do it faster too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ba-da-dum, da-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-dum, da-da-dum, da-dum.
That's a song I've just copied, but you get the idea. Maybe it's.
Ba-da-dum, dum, da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, dum, da-dum.
So anyway, the whole point here, I feel like this is going off the rails. I don't even know if anyone will find this interesting or useful, but I hope so, because melodies are so good. For me, the chord progression's got to be something I enjoy when I'm writing a song. The vocal melody, of the melody of the lyric has to be good, but that third piece, there needs to be a hook. For me, technically all you need for a song is a melody and words, right? For me, I like to add a few more to that definition. I need a melody, obviously, for the lead vocal. I need words. I need a chord progression, but I also need a hook. And I like for that hook, when at all possible, to be something different than anything the vocal is doing. So right now, what I've been doing, that's usually how I start just songs in general. I come up with melodies to help me write the song. So.
Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. I'm on my Facebook channel. Yeah.
And maybe one of those melodies, I think, that's a little too cheesy to sing, but it could be really cool on guitar. Totally messed that up. You get the idea. So anyway, hope this was helpful for you. Take a screenshot of some of these progressions. You can make your own progressions, and just try to play the 4 chords, and just come up with 6 different melodies for that same progression. I think what you'll find is one of them will connect with you and might lead to you writing a song. Then take another one that you liked second place and make that into the hook for the song, and you use the first melody for the actual vocal. Melodies. I cannot hammer this home enough, and I'd love to go through all the other. Look at these crazy chords. I don't know what B11, 13 is, Elton, but I appreciate you trying to stump me, because it worked. All right, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, share it with a musician friend. That's my ask for today. I'd appreciate that. All right, see you in the next one.